Wake up, motherfucker!
What the fuck?
Did you kill my son? And leave his body at my doorstep?
Hell no, that wasn't me.
I don't believe you.
Nuck thought he buried the truth with Rob. But ghosts don't stay buried in the chai, and now, with Tiff carrying Rob's child and Alicia pulling her close like family, Nuck is cracking under pressure. The man who once ruled the streets with no fear is now looking over his shoulder, not at the cops, but at Alicia. Because if she finds out what he did, it's over. Everything he's tried to build with Tiff, the trust he faked, the lies he told, it's all about to burn. And based on the trailer for episode 3, Alicia is finally putting the pieces together. Someone talked, someone slipped, and now the most powerful woman in the city is on the verge of war. Buckle up, because this episode isn't just about guilt, it's about revenge. Tiff moving in with Alicia sounded like a blessing at first. A place to heal, some peace after all the chaos, and a chance to raise her baby surrounded by people who actually care. But peace in the chai? That's never free. From the moment Alicia welcomed her in, we should have known something deeper was going on. Alicia lost her son. That grief didn't just disappear. It hardened her. And when she looked at Tiff, pregnant with Rob's child, you could see it in her eyes. This baby isn't just family, it's legacy. It's a second chance to rewrite the ending she never got. So now, Alicia's guarding Tiff like she's royalty. And anyone who gets too close better be ready to explain themselves. That includes Nuck. And baby, Nuck is spiraling. He's trying to keep it cool, playing the role of the supportive ex, offering to help with Tiff's business like nothing's wrong. But everything is wrong. Because behind that calm voice and fake smile is a man being eaten alive from the inside. He killed Rob. He knows it. And if Alicia finds out, she won't cry. She'll retaliate. And that's what makes this episode so dangerous. Alicia is starting to feel that something doesn't add up. Tiff talks about Nuck being there for her. But Alicia's instincts are sharp. The way Nuck keeps showing up, overcompensating, acting like he's doing the most, it's starting to feel more like guilt than love. And then there's Bari. Oh, Bari. He might have just lit the fuse without realizing it. Whether it's through a slip of the tongue or some street gossip he accidentally spread, something gets out. That Nuck was involved, that Rob didn't just disappear. And when Alicia hears it, she's quiet. Too quiet. Because when Alicia goes silent, you already know what's coming. That woman doesn't shout, she moves. And Nuck? He's running out of time. Meanwhile, Tiff is stuck in the middle, not even knowing she's the prize in a silent war. She's trying to focus on her business, the baby, and building something new. But every time she turns around, someone is lying to her. And that's going to hurt the most when she realizes Nuck's hands aren't just dirty, they're bloody. And with Alicia's house now her home, Tiff might be living under the same roof as the woman who's plotting to destroy the man she once loved. Episode 3 is setting up something massive. Betrayals are surfacing, loyalties are being tested. And the truth? It's finally clawing its way to the light. Let's talk about the guilt that's eating Nuck alive, because it's not just haunting him, it's starting to control him. Ever since Rob was taken out, Nuck's been trying to play two different versions of himself. One is the street soldier, ruthless and untouchable. The other is the changed man, offering Tiff support, standing by her side, pretending to be her safe space. But deep down, he knows he doesn't deserve to be near her. Every time he hears Rob's name, every time Tiff smiles talking about the baby, it's like a knife to the chest. And now, with Pastor Zeke refusing to give him that easy forgiveness, Nuck's soul is cracking open. He thought one church visit, one tearful conversation, and his sins would be wiped clean. But Zeke didn't let him off that easy. Instead, he told him the truth. Real redemption means facing the pain you caused. That means admitting it, owning it. And Nuck's not ready for that, because to admit what he did would mean losing Tiff forever. It would mean facing Alicia. It would mean walking straight into his own destruction. But the irony is, the more he tries to hide it, the faster the truth catches up. And it's catching up quick. The trailer for episode 3 shows Nuck looking unhinged, like a man who can't sleep, who can't breathe without seeing Rob's face. And the more he breaks, the more everyone around him starts to notice. Tiff sees it first. She doesn't say anything, but she feels the change. He's too tense, too desperate to be helpful. And worst of all, he keeps bringing up Rob, like he's trying to control the narrative before it slips away from him. That's what guilt does. It doesn't just sit quiet. It makes you clumsy. It makes you paranoid. It makes you confess without even meaning to. And that's what's about to happen to Nuck. Someone, maybe Bari, maybe even Tiff, will catch one of those slips. A word said too fast. A glance held too long. And suddenly, everything will unravel. Because no matter how hard he tries to be two different men, the truth is, he's the reason Rob is gone. And Alicia, she's not the kind of woman who lets that go. She's grieving, yes, but she's watching, listening, planning. And when the truth finally lands in her hands, she's not going to come at Nuck screaming. She's going to move with precision. Quiet revenge. The kind that doesn't just end a man, it erases him. And that's what makes this episode so intense. Because we're not just watching characters move forward. We're watching them slowly, painfully step into the consequences they can't escape. Now let's get into Alicia. Because she's not just grieving, she's awakening. For the past 2 episodes, we've seen her trying to hold it together for Tiff, for the baby, for what's left of Rob's legacy. But Alicia didn't rise to power by accident. She's strategic, calculating, and always 5 steps ahead. And now that Tiff has officially moved into her home, the stakes are higher than ever. This isn't just protection, it's preservation. Alicia sees that baby as a second chance, a final thread connecting her to her son. And she's not going to let anything or anyone threaten that. That's where the danger lies for Nuck. Because as much as he's spiraling, Alicia is sharpening. Every look she gives, every question she asks, it's not just curiosity, it's an investigation. She knows something isn't right. The math isn't adding up. And let's be real, when a woman like Alicia starts suspecting something, it's already too late for you. What's wild is how close she and Tiff have become in such a short time. At first, it seemed like grief bonding, but now it's starting to feel like something deeper, almost like Alicia sees Tiff as family. And that changes everything, because when Alicia loves someone, she protects them fiercely. And when she loses someone, she goes to war. If she even catches a whiff that Nuck had something to do with Rob's death, it's over. Not just for him, but for anyone who helped keep the secret. That's where things get messy, because if Bari knows and hasn't said anything, he's suddenly on the wrong side too. The Chi has always played in the gray areas, but this is the kind of secret that splits alliances, turns friends into enemies, and blows up every relationship it touches. And Alicia isn't going to come at this with chaos. No, she's going to gather the facts. She'll listen to the whispers, read between the lines, and wait until Nuck hangs himself with his own guilt. And the way he's cracking, that moment's coming fast. The real heartbreak here is that Tiff has no idea. She's trusting Nuck, leaning on him, thinking he's finally the man she hoped he could be. But once that truth comes out, once she learns he's the reason her child will grow up without a father, her entire world will collapse. And Alicia will be right there, not just to pick up the pieces, but to make sure the man who caused the damage never gets the chance to do it again. But here's where it all threatens to explode. Bari. Because while Nuck is falling apart on the outside, Bari's becoming the real wildcard in this whole story. He's young, impulsive, and already tangled up in too much. And the pressure of holding on to secrets that could destroy lives, that's not something he was built for. Word on the street is, Bari might have lied to Nuck about how he got that scholarship. If that's true, it's not just a betrayal. It's a power shift. It shows he's not afraid to manipulate Nuck when it suits him. But if Bari thinks that lie won't come back to bite, he's got another thing coming. Because if Nuck finds out Bari's been playing him, all bets are off. And here's the thing. Bari's walking a dangerous tightrope. He knows Nuck killed Rob. He knows this truth could detonate everything. And the longer he holds onto it, the more unstable he becomes. Secrets like that don't sit quietly. They scream. They push people into corners. And eventually, someone always slips. If Bari lets the truth out, whether on purpose or by accident, it could light up a firestorm. Picture this. Barry confides in Damien, trying to process the weight of it. Damien, already loyal to Rob, can't sit on that kind of information. He tells Emmett. And Emmett, he tells Keisha. And Keisha, heartbroken and furious, runs straight to Tiff. It only takes one spark. And the second Alicia hears even a whisper of what Nuck did, the storm begins. But here's where things get even messier. What if Alicia already suspects and is just waiting for confirmation? What if she's letting Nuck dig his own grave while quietly setting the stage for revenge? She's been calm, too calm. That kind of silence, that's not peace. That's the quiet before a calculated takedown. And poor Tiff is right in the middle, not even realizing her world is being split in half. She's trying to build something new, protect her baby, and survive the pain of losing Rob. And now, unknowingly, she's living with the man who caused that loss. The tragedy is thick, because once the truth surfaces, there's no going back. Relationships will crumble. Loyalties will shift. And someone, maybe Nuck, maybe Bari, is going to pay the ultimate price. The tension ratchets up even further when you consider the dangerous ripple effect Nuck's secret is about to unleash on everyone around him. We've talked a lot about Alicia and Nuck, but let's not forget about Barry, because his role in this twisted web is far from over. Barry's been skating on thin ice for a while, juggling lies about his scholarship and playing both sides of the fence. But what's most troubling is how close he is to blowing everything wide open without even realizing it. The theory that Bari might slip up and confess to Damien about Nuck's involvement in Rob's death isn't just speculation. It's practically written in the stars at this point. Remember, Damien's the kind of guy who doesn't keep secrets, especially ones that could shift power in the neighborhood. If he finds out, that news isn't going to stay quiet for long. And when Damien's mouth moves, things escalate quickly. The chain reaction could be explosive. Damien tells Emmett tells Keisha tells Tiff, and eventually, Alicia finds out. The suspense is killing me just thinking about it. Barry's scholarship lie is also a ticking time bomb. If Nuck can't trust his own blood, what's stopping him from turning on Bari when the heat gets too much? That family bond is looking shakier by the minute, and in the chai, shaky bonds mean disaster is right around the corner. Bari's trying to keep his head above water, but with so many eyes watching, one wrong move could send him tumbling. And trust me, it's not just Barry who's vulnerable here. Emmett is coming back into the picture with some serious intensity. The brotherhood he shared with Rob was real. They were partners in crime, literally. And even though Emmett stepped away from the street life, Rob's death could pull him back into the shadows. The trailer teases a darker, grittier side of Emmett that we haven't seen in a minute. He's not the man he used to be, but the loss of Rob might just be the trigger to bring out his old self, ready to take revenge. The question is, will Emmett's revenge be the kind of chaos that throws the whole neighborhood into turmoil, or will it be more targeted, surgical? Either way, it's clear that no one in this story is safe from the fallout. And don't sleep on the fact that Alicia's not the only one watching Nuck. Pastor Zeke's scandals have put him under a microscope, and Charles is making sure that Zeke can't hide behind his sermons anymore. This subplot might seem separate, but it ties right back to the main story because Zeke is Nuck's spiritual anchor, the one supposed to guide him through this storm. If Zeke falls, Nuck loses his last thread of stability. And we all know what happens when a man loses everything that keeps him grounded. He falls apart. This episode promises a collision course where personal demons, family loyalties, and street codes all clash in a way that will leave no one unscathed. The trailer hints at heated confrontations, secret meetings, and alliances fraying at the edges. Everyone's hiding something, everyone's got something to lose. And as the truth inches closer to the surface, the pressure cooker is about to blow. The Chai Season 7 Episode 3 isn't just about revealing secrets, it's about what happens after. The pain, the revenge, the shifting power dynamics. The moment Alicia learns the truth isn't going to be some simple showdown, it's going to be the starting gun for a new war in the neighborhood. And Nuck? He's already losing control. The man who once commanded respect is now a shell of himself, haunted and desperate. Watching him unravel will be both heartbreaking and terrifying. Because in the Chai, losing control isn't just personal, it's deadly. This episode sets the stage for an emotional roller coaster that will keep you on the edge of your seat. The stakes are higher, the players are sharper, and the consequences, they're going to echo through the rest of the season. You don't want to miss a second of it. And now, it all comes down to this. The breaking point. Everything we've been building toward in Season 7 is about to erupt. The lies, the guilt, the shifting alliances, none of it can be contained anymore. Nuck is unraveling from the inside out. The guilt of killing Rob, the pressure of keeping it hidden, and the way Alicia looks at him like a trusted protector, it's eating him alive. You can see it in his face, in the way he speaks to Tiff, in how he's trying to do better. But guilt isn't the same as redemption, and regret doesn't erase the truth. And now, he's standing in the middle of a world he helped destroy, trying to hold everything together with shaking hands. The chi isn't giving him a redemption arc. It's giving him a slow, painful unraveling. Because while he's out here trying to confess to God, make peace with Pastor Zeke, and prove he can be the man for Tiff, the truth is catching up. And Alicia, she's already moving like she knows something's off. That moment she looks at Nuck with just a little too much curiosity. When her questions get just a little too pointed, it's not coincidence. It's calculation. She's waiting for one slip-up, one false word, one confession he doesn't mean to make. Because once she knows for sure, Nuck won't see it coming. Alicia doesn't do loud revenge. She does precise, final moves. And if she confirms what we all suspect, that Nuck killed her son, then it's not just going to be a personal vendetta. It'll be justice. Let's not forget the emotional weight of all this. Tiff, innocent in all of it, is just trying to survive. She's mourning Rob, she's pregnant, and she's holding on to Nuck because right now, he's the only one offering her stability. And yet behind the scenes, he's the reason her baby will grow up without a father. Imagine her heartbreak when she finds out. Imagine the betrayal. This isn't just going to shatter her emotionally. It's going to redefine who she can trust, who she loves, and how she moves forward. Will she side with Alicia and cut Nuck off completely? Will she confront him herself? Or will this be the moment where Tiff, exhausted from everyone else's decisions, finally takes control of her own narrative? There's something powerful about watching a woman rise after loss, and that's where Tiff is headed. But before she gets there, she's got to walk through fire. And right now, Nuck's the one holding the match. And don't count out Emmett. The man may be trying to walk the straight path, but loyalty is loyalty. He and Rob went through the fire together. If he finds out Nuck was behind Rob's death, it's not a question of if he'll react, it's how. Will he go straight? For revenge? Will he tell Kesha and let her handle it? Or will he warn Alicia quietly and let her decide what happens next? There's a quiet fury building in Emmett, and the Chi has a way of letting characters snap in the most unexpected moments. That could be coming soon. And speaking of unexpected, what if Bari's not just the weak link, but the key to it all? What if his guilt forces him to tell Damien? What if he goes straight to Alicia himself, hoping for protection? Either way, his silence isn't going to last much longer. The truth is bubbling up fast, and Bari doesn't have the spine to hold it back forever. When it comes out, and it will come out, it's going to shift the entire dynamic of the season. And then there's Pastor Zeke. While Nuck is searching for spiritual redemption, Zeke's dealing with his own demons. Charles is holding him accountable, and it's about time. For too long, Zeke's been able to move in the shadows, preaching one thing while living another. But now, with Nuck coming to him for salvation and Charles demanding answers, Zeke's being forced to look in the mirror. That adds a whole other layer to the story. Because if Zeke can't get his own house in order, how can he guide Nuck toward redemption? The Chi isn't just telling us a story about crime and secrets. It's telling us a story about broken men trying to find forgiveness in a world that doesn't always offer it. And the irony, some of the most broken ones are in positions of power. Pastor Zeke, Nuck, even Charles. They all wear masks. And in episode 3, those masks are starting to fall. As we move closer to the climax, there's a heaviness that hangs over everything. Alicia's eyes, Tiff's hope, Nuck's guilt, Bari's silence, Emmett's loyalty, Pastor Zeke's scandal. Every thread is tightening. Every breath feels like it could be the last calm moment before a storm. And that's what makes the Chi's so real. It doesn't rush the chaos. It lets it simmer, lets you sit in the discomfort, and then it blows everything up when you least expect it. Episode 3 is more than just another chapter. It's the tipping point. It's the moment when secrets start slipping, Truths begin to bleed through the cracks, and the consequences hit home. So ask yourself, when Alicia finally learns the truth, what will she do? Will she burn it all down? Or will she play the long game and make sure Nuck loses everything he once thought he had? Either way, nothing will be the same again.